Hey everybody, hope you're well, and it's James here over at the Part-Time Entrepreneur, and today we're going to have a look at Datum. Now this is one of the ICOs I bought some time ago. Basically put it in the bottom drawer and forgot about it for a while. But quite recently I've just seen the price move quite nicely, so I've made quite a lot in terms of from the ICO price. But also at the same time it seems to be getting a nice bit of traction, and I think now is just the right time to do a video. Now a couple of key facts. Every single day we create 2.5 quadrillion bytes of data. 90% of all the data held was created in the last 2 years, and by 2020 the total data is roughly going to be around 1 trillion, that whole marketplace. So it's absolutely huge. And I think this one's a bit of a sleeper. It's sort of gone under the radar. I remember at ICO, I don't know anybody else that's bought at ICO. I know, looking obviously at the wallets, there's definitely a lot of people that bought, and people bought in big. But I don't know anybody else apart from myself that bought at ICO. So what is Datum? So basically they're creating this secure storage of data. So every time you go on Facebook and all these different places, Google, it's always constantly tracking what you're doing and sending little bits of data to track, how often you go somewhere and bits and pieces. And this is why, Google is so good at predicting the traffic in your journey every morning, which is quite good. And even when you get in the car, you think, how does it know I'm going there? Because you do that every month at that day or whatever it is. Another thing is having this open data marketplace where you can be free to sell your data or not, if that may be the case. So it's really sort of monetizing your own data, because at the moment Facebook and all these guys get your data for free and they make absolutely billions of dollars from that. So what is the need for something like Datum? Well, quite recently we've seen some huge hacks of data. And why? Because they're centralized and there's one point of access where people can get in and steal the data. Obviously Equifax is a huge business, and they have loads and loads of data, and quite personal data about people's finances. This got hacked, over 143 million people's data stolen. So one, your data is incredibly valuable, and two, we need somewhere safe to store it. If you check out the Datum website, you can also have a look and see how much your data is worth as well. So let's have a look. So if we go full profile and we click on share location data, something like Google, you can see that's worth $1,540 to you. Another big one is obviously health data, $1,027. So your data is incredibly valuable to these companies, and we're just giving it to them for free. So how does this all work? So first of all, they've designed it in a little bit like a torrent network. So once it's up and running, it's up and running, and then it'll be secure by design. So it's really simple. Users just submit their data. Companies take all your data all the time. So when you're walking around with your smartphone, Google Maps is constantly tracking you, seeing where you're going, what you're up to. And obviously they say, we're trying to tell you, how much traffic there is and what's the quickest way to go, which is good and it's very useful. But at the same time, they're selling all of your data to marketeers and bagging an absolute fortune, which is great if you've got Facebook shares or whatever. But if you haven't, then you're not benefiting from that in any way. So you just put your data onto the system, smart contracts on the Ethereum network. We all know how that works. The next one is that all the storage is on nodes. So these nodes are going to be run by the UNIs running the network. So we can start staking your coins. Now, they're not sure in terms of how many coins you're going to have to use, what the rewards will be, etc., etc. So all of that information is still yet to come. I haven't seen anything on that at this moment in time. However, I do need to do a bit more digging in terms of what that looks like, because I'm looking to do something similar with Substratum, and again we'll do the same because obviously I've got a load of coins ICO for really dirt cheap. The other thing you can do is you can sell your data to other people, and in some instances you can give it away for free. So for instance, a good example of giving it away for free would be that in some water bottles there are trackers, basically Bluetooth trackers, and they measure how much water you're drinking every day, and they use that data and sort of like kidney stones, all of the data is used to sort of like figure out, how much we should be drinking, how regular, which people have done what and what were the outcomes for these guys and all that sort of stuff. So in some instances you do, it's good to give your data away for free because it will benefit not just you but others down the line. And then there's other occasions where people like Facebook just blatantly just take the mick. They take your data and they just flog it to all the marketeers, and they are obviously the biggest holder of data and also the biggest marketeers on the planet. So in that case, you'd be able to sell your data to them. So we're not going to have this situation where you're giving away all this data because you've seen how much it's worth. At the end of the day, we don't want to be giving our data away for free. People like Facebook are getting paid billions, so why can't we get paid for the little amount of data that we do generate? So there's plenty of use cases, and this is really key to driving adoption of this. Now, the first one is car insurance. So again, collating data on people's driving habits and all the rest of it. And obviously that can bring your insurance down. So there's a potential saving in terms of sharing your data with car insurance companies. Next one is health data. Again, I think in some cases it's really good to share this data even for free, because one day you never know if you might need the treatment that has come off the back of people sharing their data and people being able to find a solution to whatever's happening. The other thing is there's apps. So they create digital receipts, and then people in the stock market will pay a lot of money to understand what are the market trends. So again, there's lots of different people buying it because the people in the stock market, they want to predict the future. What's happening next? What are the trends? What's happening? I'll give you a few at the moment. Some of the key trends in the market are protein. Protein is huge. Special K bars at the moment are claiming that it's packed for the protein. Now, they haven't changed the recipe and nothing's changed. All they've done is they've got back on a big claim. They've sort of looked and said, oh, we got 0.0000 protein. Let's chat about that. So I don't know if that number's true. I'm just making it up, obviously. But, that's, they can use this for market trends to sell more products. You can also sell your data. So you can now start monetizing your data, which is absolutely brilliant. So one, it's protected. No one can get at it. And two, you can sell it if you want to, or if you don't want to, then you don't have to. You've also got marketeers, and I know from working in the industry that I do, data is big business. Things like IRI and stuff like that, the supermarkets, even we pay silly amounts of money to get this data to understand what a shopper's doing and can we understand how we can sell more product. And it's really that simple. So there's always going to be a huge market to sell your data to these guys as well. So we're coming to the conclusion now. In June 18, it's all going to be live. The app's going to be up and running. And once it's up and running, that's it. It's job done, basically. And, for many people that want to, capitalize on great projects, you need to get in early. And I've said this so many times where, you can go and earn 4, 5, 10 baggers or 5 baggers or whatever but you've got to get them back to back, and sometimes they go down, sometimes they go up, and you've got to wait, and then that means you miss the next one and all the rest of it. And the easiest and simplest way is to buy cheap and hold and wait for it to go absolutely mental and then sell some. And this is pretty much what this is going to do. It's nice and cheap now, and give it 6 months, because 6 to 8 months, and this is going to be at a decent price. Now, as always, I don't give out price predictions. I very rarely do that. I like people to just want to go away, do their own research, and figure out what they think it's worth. So here's what the app looks like. It's going to be secure, private. It's on the blockchain. It's going to be simple to use. It's going to be easy to share, and you can sell your data for DAT tokens. So it's going to create that ecosystem. People are going to want your data, so they're going to buy the tokens, and it's going to very quickly spiral. And obviously, the more people that use the whole system and the platform, obviously the price will increase. You've also got some quite technical guys behind this and supporting this. The first one is obviously Arcane Bear. Obviously, they do a lot with Cliff High. So, Cliff High is, a lot of people either like him or hate him. I quite like him. I think he's very switched on. He has some very out there thoughts on the whole thing. But do you know what? I think to be in cryptocurrency, you need to be a little bit out there and a little bit looking ahead of what's happening. And the other guy, obviously Boxminer, again, very good guy, very technical. I'd say likes to give a very neutral position on things. So yeah, good guy to follow as well. They raised 7.2 million in the ICO, which tells you straight away, they weren't in this for the big money. They just took what they needed, and they've created a massive following. 33,000 followers on Twitter. They got 1 million monthly visitors to the website. I mean, it's getting a bit crazy. Like 8,000 Telegram users. I know when we look at this in maybe 6 months' time, that's going to be over 100,000 easy. And again, got some big backing from some other players as well. So if we have a look at the wallets now, obviously there's a few really big holders, but I would assume that would be Datum themselves. But again, there's some big whales out there holding a lot of tokens. But obviously, as you filter down, you can see quite quickly that there is a lot of small holders as well. So I don't think it's too much to worry about in terms of whales dumping. If you're new to cryptocurrency and not too sure where to go, then this is a great starting point. I've been able to turn £500 into over $250,000, and I've done that within the year, and all of the information is in this course. As always, if you love the video, please like, comment and share. You can follow me at jamesbull_UK, and you can join the free Facebook group, which is PT Cryptocurrency Community. And also, this video today has been brought to you by Crypto Rookies. Please check out their website. Alright guys, I'll catch you in the next video.